And hello and welcome to 450K Podcast. And I am your host Ahmad. And I'm joined here with my co-host Ryan. Ryan, say hello.
Hello, hello.
Yan. And we have our special guest right now, si Noel. Hi Noel, kumusta ang ano nyo?
Good. Hey, hey.
Okay, wag masyado mahiya tayo. Tapos, siguro we're waiting for as we go along, abangan namin si Luigi and hopefully Lorenzo will join in sa ano natin sa usapan natin. And our topic right now is syempre alam naman natin na 10th edition Warhammer 40,000 na. And pag-uusapan lang natin and ano ang opinion nyo? At ano yung mga nakuha nyo mga ideas or mga combos na mga nahanap nyo sa 10th edition or malaki ba ang pagbabago niya from ninth edition. So, Ryan, let's start with you. How is 10th edition right now? What is your first impression for it?
Hello.
Yeah.
Uy, thank you. For me, I still haven't played the game, but I think I've mentioned this a few times before. I think mostly infantry heavy. The edition will be infantry heavy, although we have seen improvements in vehicles. Speaking just for the armies I play, I think infantry heavy would be more, ano ba, efficient, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
If magkaka-vehicles ka siguro transports lang to protect your infantry. So yun yung napansin ko, parang sa sobrang dami ng
Sorry.
parang hindi nga tama, na or the assessment nila na less lethal yung guns. I don't think so. Kasi even yung mga nakita ko na battle reports, oo nga, you have toughness 9, 10, 11, 12, but ang dami masyadong lethal hits or rerolls na parang it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yung nakita kong battle report, yung isa is yung Death Guard yata versus Demons. Although yes, hindi kinaya ng Death Guard yung monsters. But that is because of chaos eh. Kasi for example, Be'lakor has stealth. So even if we can shoot well, if hindi ka makapasok, hindi mo siya, if you cannot really shoot within yung area ni Be'lakor, wala din.
Uh-huh.
But that's just me. I haven't played a game, so parang sa ngayon puro on paper lang naman siya. Kaya for example, Necrons I see puro warriors supported by characters tsaka reanimators. Mostly nga ano talaga siya infantry with technomancers. Ang nakita ko lang iba is guard. As I said sa guard na mention ko doon sa GC.
Yeah.
Mas malakas ang artillery guard niyan with a lot of troops. Kasi Liman Russ, I don't think it's not really worth it. Points, tsaka the guns. Mas malakas ngayon yung magtatago ka lang ng artillery sa likod. Not necessarily vehicle, di ba? Guard has now a lot of infantry
Mm-mm.
artilleries.
Yeah.
Like yung bagong, ang tawag doon, yung bagong, basta yung bagong ano, yung
Yung
Born?
bagong, ano yun, Noel?
Yung bago ng tangke? Or yung
Di,
indoor?
yung bagong artillery. Meron ako na nakalimutan.
Yung
yung
parang heavy
something
weapon
battery
something.
yan eh. Something battery something.
Yeah, oo, yung battery. Kasi if you look at the buffs na pwede mo ilagay sa artillery, pwede mo siyang BS2 yata. Hindi ko pa siya na-check. Pero pwede ka mag-BS2 artillery eh. Tapos, ang maganda, I don't know if baka mali ang basa ko. Pero I think pwede mo nga orderan na ngayon yung artillery. Parang dati kasi 'di ba, infantry, tanks, tapos may separate orders yung mga commissar na puro moral and stuff. Pero ngayon, you have six orders, pwede mong orderan kahit sino.
Yeah.
Ayun. Malakas ang guard.
Yeah. Field ordnance battery yun. Nahanap
Ayun,
ko.
for the orders battery. Oh. may mga weird combos kasi yung guard eh. Like for example, Wyvern, sixes auto wound. Ay tama ba? Oo, auto wound eh. Kasi yun yung ano ng guard eh. Tapos sustaining hits pa. Ang daming ano, Bane Blade na pwede mo gawing 4 plus invul save with the engine seer. Di ba? Pero I don't think people will still, or I don't think competitive pa rin yung ganun na Bane Blade engine seer. Mahal kasi, nakita ko mahal pa rin yung Bane Blade eh. Ano pa ba? Just speaking of the armies I play, Tau, hindi ko pa siya nabasa ang Tau eh. Anyway, kayo, Noel, paano sa'yo?
Yes, Noel, ikaw naman. Ang question ko sa'yo is,
Um,
how do you think about uh, yung mga keywords or yung mga, for example, sa ninth ed, we usually use exploding success. Now, right now, it's little hits now, man. Kumbaga may mga
Or
uh,
sustained hits, diba?
ayan,
Sustained hit
sustained hits.
tactics.
Yes, thank you.
um,
Sustained hits, yung mga yan. What do you think
sustain
about it,
hit.
man? Na may mga names na sila.
Actually, sa first ng first ko na encounter, aminin ko nakakalito siya. Kasi nalito ako, nakakalito siya with, for example, yung sa mga devastating wounds or parang tapos yung grievous parang ano yung auto wound agad kasi sustain is yung may
Lethal
additional
hits yun. Lethal
De-
hits.
Uh,
Auto wound.
lethal hits.
critical,
So,
critical data.
oh, yun. So parang for me nung una, nalito ko na parang wait, ano to? Yung tapos tapos yung sa mga weapon profiles, nagkaroon na ako ng konting mix-up din. Aminin ko talaga, it was something na parang nakakalito nung una. Pero once I got it,
Mhm.
okay naman.
Yeah. Sure, may mga kasi tayo talaga eh. Kumbaga, so ninth edition may mga feel no pains na tayo. Kumbaga universal na natin yon, feel no pain. Pero for each codices na gamit natin, may mga kanya-kanyang pangalan sila na ignore this and ignore that.
Yeah, true. Kaya,
Yeah, di ba?
yun din. Isa pa is actually, ang bagong flavor rin dun sa 10th thread is actually yung anti.
Mm,
Ngayon, may anti-infantry. Ngayon, pas may lumalabas pa na, for example, yung sa Space Marine na lieutenant na anti-tyranids, if I'm not mistaken. So,
oo.
in short, lahat na, mga ganyan. So, yeah, maraming changes din na, yun, just like what sabi ni Rai, na may mga naisip rin ako on paper, pero hindi pa ako actually naka-play. Pero, yun nga, na buti na share niya na meron pala na something sa IG na hindi ko rin alam yun. Kasi ako, mostly Space Marine, saka, yeah, Iron Hand specifically. Pero, yun nga, hindi ko pa na-encounter pa mga iba. Kasi, nang na-share lang sa akin about doon sa Grey Knights, yan, isa pa yan. Sobrang bilis na movement na isang army yan, na they can jump out anywhere. Parang mahirap sila i-tie down din. So,
Yeah.
parang, again, na I would say it would be interesting kasi diyan magkakaalaman lahat eh. Na kung ano ba dito yung okay, ano yung hindi. Kasi for me, itong tented when I saw yung characteristics ng mga ng mga ibang Space Marine models. I was happy actually na meron mga iba na nagkaroon ng update at saka medyo nag-improve sila. Such as servitors, fire strikes, hammerfall bunkers, mga ganyan. Dati kasi hindi pinapansin mga yan eh.
Actually,
Ngayon,
yeah.
at least ngayon nabigyan sila ng ng spotlight naman kahit papaano. I mean, meron pa rin mga iba na for example, yung mga Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Yan talaga, aminin ko, sige, tumaas ang points nila. Pero for what they do, 2 plus save, tapos may minus 1 damage pa. I mean, yan talaga solid yan eh.
Mhm. Yeah, tama yan. Madaming glow up na nangyari sa mga unwanted units sa Space Marines ngayon eh.
Mm.
Yeah. Ikaw, Luigi, man, what about you? What do you think about 10th edition right now? Ano yung mga
Uh,
initial reactions or mga nakuha mo?
well, for me, parang, I guess yun nga, some units, they become more useful, or their use kind of changes. Like, before in cursors, And curses were always pretty good naman. Kasi obsec sila, forward deploy,
Yes.
strong melee.
Mhm.
Pero ngayon, and curses are still good, but for a different reason. Kasi they give out +1 to hit, diba? Sa range. So, some armies will definitely want to take advantage of that.
Yes. Tama.
So, yeah, there's some units talagang nag-glow up, or like some units that weren't so good before, they're pretty good now. Pero some units naman, even the ones that were good before, iba na rin, their use kind of changes na rin. So it's kind of interesting to see, no, which units are yung sobrang the best talaga, or which ones are will you like take one off, maybe one or two off, and then yun na yun.
Mhm. Interesting mga na on takes nyo sa 10th edition Pero what about yung mga faces natin right now? Medyo madami nang nawala. For example, yung psychic face and moral face. Alam ko may mga nasasaktan sa atin ngayon dahil wala ng psychic face ngayon. Shout out sa mga psychers. Psyker army
Thousand
dyan.
Suns, may psychic face pa rin.
Oo.
May ibang different flavor of psychic.
Different flavors na, man. So,
Oo.
what's your take on that, guys? Parang, how will you adapt to it sa mga bagong faces na ginawa nila?
Ako medyo
Sige.
Yeah,
ako
Go,
medyo
go right.
sige.
50 ako. At first, I kinda hated it because at first I really
What
hated it.
happened?
Tapos parang what happened to the flavor, what happened to the psychic face. So for example, Strikers would just parang abilities na lang siya na okay, yun na you confer it when you are trying to lead a unit. But after reading, for example, the data sheets and how siguro per army eh. For example, the Thousand Suns, ang ganda ng interactions nila with look,
Yeah.
I like it in a sense o na I feel like hindi na hassle maglaro ng Thousand Suns for the first time ever. Kasi I started the 7th edition yata, 8th edition, like you have a lot of psychic powers. Para ako nag-D&D before. Diba?
Yung buong spellbook mo, diba?
I have
Yeah.
buong spell, what you can summon. It's not the same with 8th edition. Tapos yung 9th edition para ako nag-MTG. Kasi yung Cabal points is like your mana. You're playing another game. Pero ngayon medyo feeling I'm kind of looking forward playing the army na hindi na hassle na wala masyadong bookkeeping. Pero yeah, I would still prefer sana na may konting flavor pa rin or may parang ano lang to set Psychers apart. Ngayon kasi parang glorified shooting na lang siya na may interactions with other Psychers or anti-Psychers or parang mas malakas lang siya na shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, per army siya eh. Maganda yung psychic ng Thousand Sons, pero when you look at the demons, yung demon psychic, I don't think parang hindi maayos yung yung psychic ng demons. So, siguro it depends din talaga sa army, the army rules. Pero, siguro, in general, very bland yung psychic. Kaya lang maganda yung Thousand. There's something special. It interacts with their psychers yung army role nila yun. Paano naman sa inyo? How about the others?
Yeah, man. Luigi, what about you? What about what's your take on the reduced faces
Or,
natin?
well, for me, psychic, the only psyker I used to take naman was Mephiston, and well, honestly, it's not that great right now for me. But that's for an entirely different issue, no? Maybe we can talk about that later. Pero, I think while Thousand Sons as one psychic army, thankfully naman, they got their rules. I like their rules naman. Parang even though they removed psychic phase, they're still kind of like, they're not just a shooting army. My fear before was like Thousand Suns, since yun nga, psychic became like a glorified gun lang. I was afraid they'd just be another shooting army, pero Thousand Suns were able to keep their flavor. But I think for the most part, other armies, like yun nga, si Ryan mentioned demons, their their psychic is not that great. So wala. For them it's just another gun. Yung sa morale phase, Battle Shock, parang GW seems to be pushing like na in a way morale's kind of more important. Like before you some armies would barely test morale, diba?
Yes,
Like kung
tama.
custodies you'll forget that you even have a morale phase kasi I think basta they have a high leadership 8 9 ata across their army, so like
Yeah, I believe
and they
9
only
or
have
10,
like
yes. 9 or
yeah
10
so
ata.
and they only have like what maximum 4 or 5 in a unit, so you'll only ever fail in a 6, no, and by then your squad's pretty wiped na.
Mm-mm.
So now parang morale battle shock is kind of more important for everyone, and there's more ways to force an armies to take these battle shock tests. So parang in some ways GW they're pushing some rules. I mean, leadership, yung morale phase, they removed it nga. But for me, it seems like they're pushing it even harder, despite the fact they removed that entire phase, no? Parang
Mm-mm.
it's more
Yeah.
prevalent in the game. Everyone kind of has to take into account, this is my leadership. There are any army can battle shock me like this, so um, yeah,
Yeah.
the removals of some phases, it changes some takes away a bit of flavor, but then in some ways, ironically, the removal of the morale phase in particular makes it more relevant than ever.
Yes. Actually, right now, kung napansin nyo, no, prevalent nga
Mm.
talaga ang battle shock ngayon. No? Take for
Oo.
example, yung battle shock test sa mga Tyranids, sa
Mm.
sa Chaos Knights, ang dami, sobrang dami battle shock ano ngayon. Kumbaga,
Yeah, very true.
although less punishing siya, hindi nawawala yung mga models mo pag nag-fail ka ng battle shock mo. Para nang ginagawa nilang invalid na agad yung isang unit when you get battle shock.
Yeah.
Ikaw, Noel, what about you? Ano yung mga phases na ano yung nakita mo mga changes or how will you adapt with the phases na bago ngayon? Less phases, I
Um,
mean.
well, kasi yun nga, nung una talaga natatawa dito sa akin sila Rai, basa sa sila Cyrus na guilty talaga ako kasi ever since naman Iron Hands talaga ako. So basically, I really skipped yung psychic
Auto skip
phase talaga.
morale phase.
Yung psychic phase sa night. So parang natatawa sila, parang shoot, saan yan? So parang ako, natuto rin ako talaga. I learned the hard way na, uy, yung psychic phase, may use yan sa akin. So,
Mm.
yun, nag-adjust rin ako. So, yun, kaya ako na-option na, sige, try ako ng isa pang army, which I tried, nagkokolik ako ng Grey Knights. So, ng Grey Knights ng Ninth Head, yun, naramdam ko talaga na parang, wow, ito pala yun, yung Smite, tapos yung lahat talaga ng Tide of Shadows, everything talaga. No, yun nga, yung sabi ni Rai minsan na nakakalito, parang na may dala akong libro. Akala ko tandaan ng per step. Nung una, na-appreciate ko siya. Tapos yun nga, na there were times talaga na amin ko na, shoot, nakalimutan ko, hindi ko nagawa to at everything. When I look at sa 10th right now, nga, pinadaling nila. I mean, yun nga. Pero tama rin si Rai na nawala rin yung flavor ng Sake Face. Which I admit na yun yung isa rin sa Grey Knights na make them Grey Knights actually. Kasi now when I listen to my ibang Grey Knights group, ang they talk about more is actually movement, deployment, mga ganyan. Parang since nawala na kasi yung isang characteristic niya yun na parang it just became shooting na lang. So, yun nga, na parang sana, tama rin na sana na-retain kahit papaano
Mm.
yung that psychic phase na you can do, na if you do this, meron mga a big benefit for you. Parang, yun lang. That's for me. Pero, after hearing out you guys, yun nga rin.
Yeah.
May pros and cons eh. Na parang binalance naman nila. Pero ayun lang. I wish sana lang na ni-retain nila some of it lang. Yung
Mm.
sa psychic phase.
Yes. The simplified version ng 10th edition at the cost of flavor ng isang army.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, mahirap nga talaga ngayon mag-adjust dahil at first glance ang sabi nila talaga simplified na, pero at first glance parang ang daming parang ang daming pag-aaralan. Although nandun pa rin yung essence ng 9th edition, tsaka mas madami ng clarified na mga rule sets na kailangan pa na natin explanation ng 9th edition ngayon. Ngayon malinis na. Pero for me, exciting ang 10th edition.
Yeah, same
Dahil,
naman.
for example, yung mga units natin right now, parang gaya ka na sabi ni Luigi, gumaganda sila pero tapos they have a specific role na. Talagang clear dahil sa mga abilities nila. Like for example, yung Encursor nga. Yun na yung pinaka-purpose niya ngayon. To give +1 to hit, tapos if ever may vehicle, they can use the Haywire Mines and Mortal Wounds them. Ay mas malakas, I mean, sa vehicles. Well, what about guys yung affected ba kayo yung army nyo with the new fly
You
fly
fly.
ruling?
Well, okay. Ako Blood Angels ako eh. So
Yeah. What do you think about that,
everyone's
man?
fly. Um, kind of, but not so much rin. Because thankfully naman, they kept yung breachable.
Oo.
So like, with, I'll just ignore the as we still parang we just ignore difficult ground, etc. We fly over enemy units, but at least we can still go through walls, no? So it's
Yeah.
not so bad naman. But I imagine like, for example, going up an elevation, yun, it's not automatic, no? Before it used to be just measured horizontally and you're good.
Yeah.
Now diagonally. So
You have
a bit,
to, yung ano nga ba?
yeah.
Yung measurement is diagonal, then horizontal at the top, then diagonal.
Yeah, and then you have to check pa if the base fits, diba? Parang I saw that diagram
Yeah.
GW put out. So a bit, yeah.
Ikaw, what about you, Noel? Man? Affected by yung army mo with the new fly rulings?
Um, well, some actually. Yung mga interceptors, yun nga, we're kind of heavy on the vehicles rin. So, there's some. And also, parang pagbabago rin sa I wanna say na ano no, pero dun sa aircraft kasi right now parang I think it's ano na, it's easier. May plus rin naman. I guess siguro sa mga aircraft rin. Kasi di ba technically you can still hide na, di ba? Behind, let's say, mga obscure, well, not obscure na pala. Yung mga terrain na. Ay, ano na sila, di ba?
What do you mean, yung aircraft?
Correct me lang. Yeah, yung aircraft. Meron,
Actually, hindi sila pwede magtago. I mean,
But I think
di
people can't hide from you. That's important ata for
oo.
aircraft, if I'm not
Kasi same
mistaken.
as Imperial Knights, yung towering at saka aircraft keyword, you can see them behind ruins and they can see you.
Yeah.
Yun
yun.
ang ano na.
I mean, yun ang, that's a good side naman from how I see it. But, it just depends how you weigh it na lang talaga. But, I mean, for me, mas prefer ko yun.
Actually, may impressive nga, madaming Imperial Knights na nag-enjoy with the towering keyword eh. No more hiding, guys.
Kaya, I'm sure si Dennis yun, tuntua yan. Na since malalaro niya na yung ano niya, mga Imperial Knights yung ganyan.
Ikaw, Rai, may mga units ka ba? Or what do you think about the new fly ruling?
Ano na bang, paano yung charging and flying pa lang ano?
Ganun pa
Nirevert
rin.
ba nila sa luma? Ano yun? So, hindi ka ulit di ba usually you can't fly over
Yeah.
hanggang
Parang
ngayon ganun pa rin?
Pwede
I
mag-fly
have
over
to review
units.
that. No.
Yeah. So go,
Oh,
Luigi.
Yeah. Actually, no. I'm not entirely sure. Ano. Pero how it used to be sa ninth ed, parang fly, only let you charge over units, but like it didn't let you ignore terrain. So you'd have to go around if you were flying over, say, containers. You have to measure vertically pa rin.
mm. Pero alam ko,
So,
ang wala pagbabasa ko pwede din eh. Kasi dahil diagonal lang ang measuring
Oo.
ngayon.
Yeah, I think that's how it is now, no?
And you can pwede ka nang mag-fly over friendly or
Yeah.
enemy units eh. Basta you end
Yeah.
your charge.
Yeah.
Kasi I found that rule stupid nung 9th edition na suddenly your character forgets how
Yeah.
to.
Forgets how to fly. But you can still fly over enemy units for some reason. But not,
Yeah.
yeah, parang half fly lang. Weird,
Oo.
no?
Yeah.
How weird. Pero for any I think wala naman masyado. Ako sa ngayon na wala pa ako masyadong nakikitang any ano ba issues arising from that ano more on ano ba siguro more on the interactions lang siguro with the train. Yun ang hindi ko pa alam yun.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of charge phase, no. With the new fight phase ano ngayon, that other than Blood Angels natin na si Luigi, bago na ang fight phase. Nandun yun, yung mga fight first natin, tapos
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
have to
yeah.
charge, you have to, as if
You have,
possible, base to base lagi ang
Model
charge
to
mo.
model.
Wala na
Yeah.
yung mga
Base to base.
wala na yung mga pwede mong string along papunta sa objective. What do
yeah.
you guys think about that? Na? Yung fight phase niya, ay charge and fight phase. Ikaw, Noel, more on, nagmi-melee units ka ba, Noel?
Actually, lately, naging, nag-feel na ako ng mga melee units din. Pero, now, pero hindi pa ako nakalaro eh. Pero from when I saw the videos lang, parang mas kawawa yung mga melee units. Kasi kung kailangan sila maging base to base, so parang mas less. Kasi parang binawasan kasi yung mga possibilities na ano yung pwede makahampas pa.
Mm-mm.
Kasi 'di ba dati, correct me kasi 'di ba dati it was supposed to be uh, kung within 1 inch, ngayon it has to be model to model na. Base to
Yeah,
base, right?
base to base.
Tapos tapos the first row, tapos yung the second row, dapat yung second row dapat nakadikit pa.
Yeah,
Third
literally
row,
base.
wala na. Oh, so wala na, limited na talaga yung mga kampas. So dati yung mga for example, mga 20 orc boys, mga ganyan. Alam ko dati ang daming mga kampas diyan eh. Ngayon parang binawasan pa. So parang yun lang, parang sa mga melee based na armies, I don't know if that's favorable for them, but yun lang. I think talaga kailangan mo talaga ma-mix match na talaga din eh.
Yes, oo nga pala, yung orcs, kahit yung second line, pwede umatake, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yan.
First rank,
Oh, yes.
second rank. Yeah.
Ikaw, Ray, alam ko your World Eaters Army. Ano mo doon? What's your take on it?
For ano I think ano ba I don't know why they changed the fight phase so much. Kasi I think okay naman siya last edition eh. It's one of the good, ano ba, parang good parts ng game. Kasi talagang at least, ano ba, ever since 8th edition, parang ako personally, parang nawala yung tactics positioning side ng game. Wherein you have to take into consideration yung movement. Meron pa rin naman ngayon, but not as much before na, 'di ba, meron kasing, kunwari, vehicles, may flanking bonus, may rear bonus, 'di ba? Ever
Yeah.
since kasi nung nag-8th edition, parang nawala yun eh. Na ngayon parang siyang FPS. Parang kang nag-FPS na game na, kita ko ba 'to? Makikita ba ako nito, 'di ba? Although yeah, positioning is important pa rin, pero more on ano na siya eh, visibility yung ano mo, hindi actually positioning itself eh. Like, yun nga yung maganda sa fight phase eh. A lot of armies, halos dun sila nabubuhay eh. Making sure na natrap mo yung kalaban mo na they can retreat. Diba? Kasi for example, demons for example, if you don't know how, Slanesh demons for example, to be more precise. Kasi kapag hindi ka marunong mag-possession ng Slanesh demons mo with 4 up na ano, demon save, dati 5 plus invul save nga lang, patay yun. Like, they won't be as effective if you know how to use the fight phase. Yung mga padded consolidate. Pero kasi with this edition, parang, I don't know, they punish, parang shadow nilang ni-nerf yung fight phase na yung mga armies, for example, word eaters, na they rely so much on your positioning sa fight phase. 'Di ba? Parang nawalan ng ano, ng ano ba, fighting. I'm not gonna say nawalan ng fighting chance, pero more tactical movement. Kasi para sa akin, movement talaga yung pinakamalakas na ano eh, na ano sa game eh, na the thing that could really
Yeah.
dictate.
Parang it makes you can see a good player with how they position their units, no?
Yes,
Mm,
actually.
'di ba? Parang after I charge this, ay pupunta siya dito. Pero ngayon, 'di ba, you cannot consolidate if tama 'di ba? If
Pag
you will not.
walang units na to consolidate in pause.
Tapos yung pile-in ngayon, kailangan towards the closest model na hindi na closest unit.
Yes.
Hindi na pwedeng gawa natin dati na you dance around,
Mm.
which some people hate, pero yun talaga eh. That's how a lot of melee armies live,
Yeah.
'di ba?
Yeah.
So, parang hindi ko pa na-try, pero parang ang punishing kasi talaga. Tapos ito pa, 'di ba? You can only attack with one melee weapon. If you have more, unless it has extra hits, hindi mo siya pwedeng gamitin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Totoo
too.
yan, totoo yan.
Hindi ko alam kung ano yung kung bakit sila ba't nila ni nerf yung if there's a phase in the game that you have to nerf, hindi siya hindi siya fight phase.
Yeah,
Oh.
it wasn't fight
Yung
phase.
extra hits, ay yung extra attacks na yun is same as malefic attacks ng demons before, di ba? Hindi siya pwede
Yeah.
ma-minus one attack.
And I'm not sure, pero alam ko that's
Yun
the
ang ano niya.
malefic. Oh, di
Yun
ba?
ang ano eh. Ikaw, what about your Luigi? Man? Your
Well,
Blood Angel, ano dito?
yeah, yun nga what's been said, no? Parang I used to enjoy like saying, oh, ito, engagement range na to, I'll charge him as far as I can so everyone can get in. Pero now, parang you're forced to, if you can do base to base, you're forced to do it. So for me, kind of like part of the game, part of like how you approach the charge phase, the fight phase, they took away some of the depth there. I used to like it better. Pero, maybe it's not so bad rin naman. Pero, yeah, there's a little less expression there. Game expression, no?
Oh, actually,
It's just, you charge, you charge. You can get in. You, there's no dancing about it. Parang, there's only one way to do it. And if you can do it, yun na yun.
Maano nga, no? I mean, at first, parang kailangan natin, I mean, we have a decent understanding naman how the fight phase, works. Pero we have to still play it, di ba? We have to still practice
Yeah.
it para maano natin yung mga,
Yeah.
if ever may mga shenanigans na we can use to maximize yung charge phase na yan. Yeah, we have to try it first, man. Kasi
Yeah.
right now, ang pinaka natin siguro we have to practice is yung terrains. Terrain interaction right now is lahat may benefit of cover. Napansin nyo ba yung terrains na ngayon? Ano yun ba yun? Almost lahat ng
Yeah,
terrains
majority.
you can have a benefit of cover.
Mm.
So meaning
Parang nawala.
you negate na agad ng AP-1 ng mga weapons ng ano mo. Ano sa tingin yung doon for the terrains? Noel, And by the way, terrains in malaking bagay na rin ang may footprint ang mga terrains.
Mm. Yeah.
Kumbaga,
Actually.
one thing is the unit has to be wholly within the terrain to get that benefit of cover. Hindi na pwede yung mga toe-in lang, yung mga, this model is in terrain. Wala nang half base, walang touch lang ng ano.
Oh, okay.
Wala na yung mga yun.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Big thing
Raj,
talaga.
sorry, sige, ikaw na Noel. What do you think about that?
No. Well, for me kasi, aminin ko na dito sa edition na to, yung Tented talaga, sobrang bihira na lang talaga yung mga AP weapons. As in talagang pinahina talaga ang AP weapons ngayon. Na parang, kunwari, AP1 is a big deal na talaga. Tapos yung mga cover pa, yan, majority, wala na kasi tayong yung mga dating cover na, like cover dense or obscure,
Wala
mga
na
ganyan.
yun.
As in lahat pinagsama-sama na.
Yeah. Mhm.
So talagang, ngayon is actually, parang ginawan itong sa edition na to, pina-limit na lang talaga yung mga AP4 or mga ganyan. Parang bihira ka na makita yan talaga. So
Yes.
ngayon, sobrang big deal talaga kapag kunwari yung mga terrains ngayon. So parang, kaya for me, talagang yung mga reliable shots mo talaga, it's either dapat high AP yan or kung hindi, talagang mass. Talagang magpapaulan ka ng sobrang daming bala talaga sa kalaban mo. Pero in this edition, aminin ko, terrain is a very important nga talaga. Kasi since ngayon, AP weapons, AP1, AP2, and everything went down a bit talaga. So, yeah.
That is true. Totoo yan, man. Ikaw, Luigi? Parang
Uh,
may nag-gets ka kanina yung pagka-explain ko ng
yeah.
terrain.
Yeah, actually I didn't realize the relevance of the terrain changes until you mentioned na dapat whole unit, no? Kasi before kahit toe-in, you say, I'm declaring these guys to be in terrain, na. So I at least have a cover save up to here. Like if I put 2 sanguinary guards in terrain, I say, these two have a cover first.
Yeah.
To kill them first before anyone else, no? So now if you do that, parang wala, no one's in cover. Either everyone's completely in cover or no one's in cover. So kahit na everyone's in even if everyone's two in, wala pa rin. Everyone has to
Wala
be
pa rin.
in, no?
Yes.
I guess it makes the game less gamey because I mean, if you kind of think about it, rin, parang why will this squad or this unit have the benefit of cover when yun nga, he's just touching it, no? And then everyone can see him naman. It kind of makes sense if you look at it from like cinematic point of view. Like if you imagine like it's in a full-fledged battle, parang bigla na lang because these two dudes
No.
have a toe in. It's like, oh, I'm safe. So I can kind of see why they did it naman.
Yes, actually.
But it is a big change nga. It is a big change. So I have to see if
Wala na. Tapos,
Oo.
one of the things din pala, if yung isang unit, pag may terrain, sa gitna ng dalawang unit, if naka-toe-in lang yung isang unit sa terrain, hindi siya pwedeng bumaril outside, pero he can be shot by the unit outside.
So parang the other dudes are obscured, ganun?
Yeah.
Wow.
Diba?
Wow, it's either you go all in or none at all, no?
Yep. Kasi if hindi ka naka-toe-in tapos may malaking terrain sa gitna, no, both of you have the obscuring. You are both obscured. I mean, yun ang ano na. Maano ang terrain yan? Yes,
Sorry,
Noel.
question ko lang. Right now ba, do vehicles get cover ba or no?
Sorry?
Do vehicles get cover ba?
Yes.
Or no?
They
They
do.
do.
Yeah, they do.
They do
Lahat
Wow.
sila.
nag-iinit.
Oo.
Kaya
Wow.
pala.
Wala na yung
Kaya
mga
pala,
infantry corps or beasts, wala na.
kaya pala they're going crazy. Okay, okay.
Hmm. Ikaw, ano, Ryan? What about you?
Ano, paano magkaka-cover yung vehicle? Kailangan ba siyang
Fully
full
within
width
pa rin,
din?
no?
Oh, Holy Within
Oo.
pa rin.
Pero that would be very unusual, tama? Kasi hindi naman lahat kasya. O may
Yeah.
special reason
Well,
yun.
actually, depende sa ruins na gaano yun mo eh. Kasi, di ba may mga large ruins tayo, may mga small ruins.
Oo. Ruins na lang naman ngayon na
Oo.
may obscure.
Everyone's
Kasi,
everyone has a different flavor of
mm,
ruins.
although pag yung mga indirect fire, tapos binaril mo yung mga vehicles na behind ruins, they have, because of the indirect penalty.
Mm.
I'll double check. Yun kasi yung hindi ko ata nabasa last time. Or hindi ko nabasa ng mabuti. Yung
Mm.
terrain rules. Pero, ano ba? Siguro, mahihirapan yung horde armies pagdating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pagdating sa, So if you have to have them hold
Everyone.
with you. Oo. Unlike before na lahat makakabarel, ngayon, yung hindi fully within, baka hindi sila makakabarel, no? They can
Oo.
shoot.
But they can
So,
be shot at, no?
Mm.
oo. So
Pag hindi ka
that's
Holy Within,
punishing.
tapos yun, ganun, mababaril ka.
That's punishing
Yeah.
for a lot of horde armies.
Yeah,
Which I
that's
think
really that's really painful.
parang inaalis nga nila. Parang ayaw na nga ni GW ng horde armies eh. So,
Pero
ayun.
Yes.
may share lang ako, guys, ha.
Yeah, go.
Mm.
Ngayon ko lang nabasa to eh, actually. Yung dun sa Hammerfall,
Yeah.
yung Hammer, nakasul dito sa, meron palang mga iba na fortifications, for example, na each time a range attack is allocated to a model, if that model is not fully visible to every model in the attacking unit because of this fortification, that model has a benefit of cover. So, ibig sabihin kahit hindi siya kitang-kita. I mean,
Mm.
hindi siya, basta kahit half of it covered lang. So, he has
Nakalagay
benefit of cover.
Yes.
nakalagay it confers benefit of cover. So, oo.
Mm-mm.
So,
Diba?
baka yun nga.
May
Baka yung
nakasulat
mga,
ba na infantry or specific
wala eh.
side? Oh, diba? So, if kaya itago ng Hammerfall Bunker ang isang vehicle, may
It gets
may
benefit of
may
cover.
benefit cover. +1 sa save.
Yeah.
Tapos yung one of the things din na nabasa ko sa terrains is yung ano nga yung wood. Regardless kung you're wholly within or the shooting unit is passing through, you will always have cover. You will always
Okay.
have obscuring yata. Tama pa yung pagkakintindi ko. Anyway, basta ang short nun is may +1 to cover, +1 to save ka lagi. If you're behind or wholly within a woods terrain.
Okay.
Yun yung mga ano na. For now, 10th edition, very impactful ang terrain interactions ngayon natin eh. Ano sa tingin nyo? Is it malaking bagay ba talaga right now? Kasi
For me, yes. Kapag
Yeah.
let's say, if you're playing against a shooting army, ko talaga, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. If you're a melee army,
Sometimes the game is lost. How the table is set up determines whether you even have a fighting chance, no? If it
Yeah.
against a shooting army. So yeah.
Mm. Yes. Actually, meron nga rin akong nakakita about the terrain eh. Let's say, for example, di ba alam niyo yung mga containers?
Yeah.
Most of the time, hindi siya balanced, di ba? Parang may isang container, tapos may second floor na containers, tapos may diagonal na containers na inano natin.
Yeah.
When you're flying over it pala, it varies from level to level.
Oh,
What do you mean?
Yung meaning, kunyari, yung interceptor is going to fly over the container.
Ah,
Yung
yeah,
yung
yeah.
yung container na ipa-fly over ng isang interceptor is one container lang. So
Mm-hmm.
mas shorter ang movement niya. Tapos let's say yung other interceptor is going to jump over sec 2. Dalawang magkapatong na containers. So mag-iiba rin yung fly niya over it. Sa first interceptor na going over sa isang container. I mean, mahirap siyang i-explain pero I will try to find the picture for it. Ang ano ewan ko, parang siguro much better pag nilaro natin talaga. Kasi
True.
lahat naman kayo
Yeah.
na-test na yun, di ba, yung GW terrain with the plastic
Yeah.
na ino natin, di ba?
Yeah.
Nagbago ba
Yung
yung
footprint.
playstyle nyo because of it?
Di naman. Although, it became more clear, no? I mean, we used to always play rin naman when I used to play with sina Lorenzo
Yeah.
na may footprint siya. We just had to imagine it. Pero now, with the actual acrylic footprint, it clear lang siya.
Mm. What about you, Noel? Parang, how was your experience naman doon for?
Actually, nag-iba din actually. May mga nag-change rin sa akin sa may iba kong, like for example, na I had to change some of my units na kaya kunwari, parang for me, it's always a must to bring a RT unit na parang at least sige, fine. Kung sobrang daming cover, at least meron ako isang unit dyan na kahit pa paano he's gonna do his job properly naman.
Mm-hmm.
Na whirlwinds or like let's say ito, yung bago, yung mga desolation squad na yan. At hopefully yan. Parang maganda kasi is always to have like a flexible list na lang. So, with the terrain or kung kulang ang terrain or hindi, at least meron kang isang unit yan na mag-shine naman kahit pa paano. Kaya maganda always have a maybe or whatever na talaga.
Ikaw, Rai, what are your thoughts?
Ano yan, tent ed terrain?
And how the footprint yung mga
Ano lang, yun, siguro gagamitin ko yung last tournament as an example. May weird, may weird na interactions lang siguro siya na logically dapat na lang cover yung unit pero meron. Tawag dito, medyo, siguro that's, on my part lang yun kasi medyo na-caught off guard ako doon. Kasi I played without yung footprint ba yan in mind. Pero
mm-hmm.
nothing major naman, yun lang naman yung experience ko. Kasi ako, for example, list building, pretty much, isa lang naman, ang philosophy ko lang naman sa list building is dapat, if it's a casual game, kung ano yung trip ko, if it's a competitive game, very parang tack list, take all corners list, regardless regardless kung anong units yung kalaban ko, armies, may terrain man o wala. So parang hindi naman siya masyadong nagbabago. So yeah, that's my experience sa train. So parang ganun din naman ngayon sa 10th edition na kung last time na nabasa ko siya, the changes weren't that drastic. There were a lot of changes pero it kind of plays the same pa rin naman in a way. So ayun, I think one big change pala is yung shooting from height. Yun siguro that would really play a part. With for example, Tau armies na siguro mas okay ngayon na mas maging defensive in a way na you won't shoot out in the open. Siguro
Yes.
with your battle suits, feeling ko you are more inclined to uh, hold up position sa second floor,
Yes.
tapos or doon ka mag-deep strike, 'di ba? So yun siguro, yun yung changes. Because of yung changes ng shooting from a height, ayun, feeling ko that is one of the gameplay changes for Tau, specifically siguro for Tau. And other armies siguro, pero more specifically sa Tau kasi mas potent yung shooting nila tapos they can deep strike very much
Mm.
better into second floor terrain.
Actually, yung second floor terrain na yun, di ba yun yung if it's more than 6 yata, I believe plus AP? Tama ba yun? Yeah, I believe pag 6, more than 6 inch yung second floor, may plus
Minus
AP.
180.
Yeah, may dagdag sa AP, di ba?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Pero yeah, just maybe with interactions and din with ano ba, paano ba yung mga hovercraft na vehicles, 'di ba? Parang parang ngayon nga, siguro baka maging discussion din yung mamaya. I've seen some battle reports na against Eldar. Eldar daw, di ba kinakatakot ng lahat is the support weapon pero hindi pala yun yung dapat katakutan.
Ano
What you
pala?
should be worried about is the Wraith Knight na for some reason 300 something points
Oh
lang.
yes, 370.
Wow.
370, di ba?
Oh, yep.
Tapos, yun nga daw, parang I don't know, can they shoot from the second floor? Hindi ko lang kung mali yung ginawa nung napanood ko kanina. Pero they did that. Yung Eldar nakatayo sa second floor, shooting down.
What the...
Diba? Parang, I don't know if that's legal. Kasi parang, ang nakikita ko, parang bawal. Wala na ako nakikita bawal. Pa-double check nga kung if pwede yung mga Titanic. Pero
sinong battle report? I mean, sinong YouTuber yun?
I forgot. I'll find it later.
Hmm.
Tawag dito. Ayun, tapos what's really weird din is pwede mo i-fire and fade yung Wraith Knight.
Late night?
Raid Night meta is back. Oh my God.
Actually, Wraith Knight is actually more scary. Kasi di ba, hindi binanggit ko last time sa GC din. Like, okay, 8 mortal wounds nung D weapon, but it's not going to be really consistent. You won't deal 8 mortal wounds every
Yeah.
turn. You have to really expend a lot of your resources.
Yes.
Tapos, di ba, you still have to hit, tapos indirect fire. Diba? Pero sige, you can use Fade Dice. Pero yun yung gagamitin mo. Pero with a Wraith Knight na 360 lang, pretty consistent yun eh.
Oh my
Diba?
God.
For example, Heavy Wraith Cannon, D3 attacks, strength 20, tapos 2d6 damage.
Mhm.
Diba? Tapos yung Shuriken Cannon nila, the usual, sustained hits, yung nagpumuputok. Yeah, I think that's kaya mas scary pa yung Wraith Knight eh. Tapos I think toughness 12, 20, 18 wounds, tapos may 4 plus invul save. Tapos mabilis pa siya, and unlike support weapons, it can strike ba. Pwede kang hampasin ng ano niya yung sword niya, which I think if you sweep it, that's around 15 attacks, 'di ba?
Ooh.
Parang
Spicy.
mas oppressive yung Wraith Knight. Kaya nagulat nga ako eh. I was thinking na this should be around 600, 700. But hindi pala 370.
370. Wow.
70, man. Yeah. Later, siguro after neto pa, check ko rin kung how scary the Raid Knight is, man.
Injustice. Tingnan mo, blood
No.
letters. 10 blood letters, 160 points. Worst,
Ang
worst,
mahal.
worst 20 blood letters si Wraith Knight. Diba? Versus what they can do. So,
Yeah.
Don't ask me how much 10 Sangard costs. My goodness.
How much is a single model? Ay, 5-man.
5-man? I think 210.
What?
215. So, 434.
15.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Diba?
A
10
10-man is, I think,
400
Yeah,
plus?
yeah, 400 plus. Well, they were buffed somewhat naman, pero
Pero at what cost yung buff?
yeah, at what cost? Well, we can calculate it precisely, no? 13 points a model ata.
Oh, no.
Pretty wild.
Yeah. We will check about that. Pero last questions ko sa inyo for the night net. army building.
Mm.
Nakakapanibago ba? Is it something na panibago to ba for you guys ito? I mean, for me kasi 8th edition is the pinaka-starting ko. So, yung anything attachments ng mga leaders na yan, first time ko ma-experience itong mga ito. Especially yung mga, paano ba to? List building yung wala na tayong mga restrictions. Let's say, patrol detachment, outriders. Kumbaga, kineri pa rin nila yung Arc of Omen style na pag gawa ng detachment. I mean,
Mm.
nanibago ba kayo sa how building a list
Oo.
Mm.
ngayon sa 10th edition? Right?
Ah.
Yeah,
Sa'yo,
go Rai.
Rai.
Go Rai.
Ako muna. Kasi,
Yeah.
sige, medyo ako nanibago ko, pero in a good way. Kasi actually, 9th edition list building was actually really, really annoying. Di ba?
Really? Bakit? Why?
Oo, kasi,
Why?
ah, ga- and then, medyo 50-50 pa rin ako. In a way na, medyo annoying kasi yung list building ng 9th edition kasi, ang dami mong gagawin, like pre-game CP, pre-game stratagems. Like, okay, 7th edition was pretty, hindi naman annoying, but parang 7th edition kasi yung good balance ng customizing your army versus simplicity. Kasi 7th edition, medyo simple, and yun, balancing simplicity and customization. Kasi ngayon, for example, bayad ka ng warlord trait, bayad ka ng isa pang CP, may pangalawang warlord trait, o bayad ka ng isa pang CP, merong ability to na pwede mong bayaran.
Yes.
Tapos may relic pa,
Mm.
'di ba? O tapos yung sergeant mo pwede mo lagyan ng relic, pwede mong bigyan ng ganito, blah blah, 'di ba? Medyo annoying siya. Tapos um some units 6 man, 7 man, 8 man, 'di ba? Ngayon, actually, mas gusto ko yung ganito. Ako, baka hot take siya. Baka some people don't agree. Pero gusto ko yung fixed units like parang sa Sigmar, parang sa Fantasy na 5, 10, 15, diba?
Mm.
Mas para sa akin, mas okay yung ganun kaysa na magdadagdag ako ng per tao.
Oo
Diba?
nga. Actually, parang pwede ka pa rin yata mag 6 man or 7 man eh. Pero, yung points niya for 10 man. Hindi ko,
Oo.
hindi ko,
Pero
hindi ko maalala
why
kung
would you?
tama yung pagkakaano ko dun na.
Parang mga ganun nga. Pero
Parang,
why
oo
would you
nga,
do
I
that?
mean, tama. Kung mag-10 man ka na, ay kung mag-6 ka na lang, why not go 10?
Siguro for purposes na hindi ka ma-blast.
Mm.
Like kung yung mga elite na 3 unit, 3 man na instead of you'll bring 6, gagawin mo na lang 5, but sayang pa rin sa points eh. So
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
yun.
Luigi,
An
man. Ay, sorry.
enhancement. Sorry. Yun na, enhancements instead of relics. Yeah, medyo nawalan ng customization, but kaya medyo 50-50 ako. So nagustuhan ko naman ngayon yung pagka-simple niya, pero again, too much naman customization was taken away. Like, kaya ko nga nagustuhan yung customization ng 7th ed, for example, is, di ba? Kasi I can create my own Chaos Space Marine captain. Chaos
Yes.
Fluid pala, sorry. Sige.
Yeah, go Luigi, man. What do you think about the new list
Uh,
building ngayon? Mastering an army in 10th edition.
for me,
Actually, what I don't, it's all right naman, but what I don't like is yung how they limits how who can attach to what. Like for example, I mentioned earlier si Mephisto, no, in passing, he's not that great now because yun nga, he gives fight first to the his unit, which would be great, no, kasi fight first now works. Parang
Hmm.
it actually does something now, no? If you're charged, you go first, which is a big deal. Pero the thing with Mephiston is you would think na he could join at least sana Blade Guard veterans lang man lang, no?
No,
Pero
no.
he only joins Assault Intercessors and well Stern Guard and regular Intercessors, pero those guys aren't melee units that you'd want Mephiston in. So parang he could have been so good if he would, kasi Blade Guard right now have a pretty good ano eh, are pretty good now rin eh. Kaya
True.
lang Mephiston can't join them. So he could have been pretty good. He would have been all right. I could see him being taken. But right now to buff intercessors, parang you really wanna spend points for that. So yun, in a way, good, potentially good characters are kind of nerfed by who they can join.
Yes.
So
Actually, interesting nga yung pag-attach ng mga characters na yun sa isang units pero very specific ang mga units na they can attach to. Etong mga experts natin kasi mga 7th ed mga players na to eh. Noel, kayo ni Ryan ang most experienced dito sa mga attached the characters. What is your take sa pag-build ng
Uh,
list sa 10th edition?
Actually for me, 50-50 din ako. Kasi parang,
Oh, bakit?
nang nakita ko kasi to, parang yung, like, yun nga, nasabi ni Luigi, yung sa pag-attach. Kasi parang, you guys, nalaro niyo na ba yung, Dawn of War?
yeah. They used to do that there. Yeah, like
Di ba?
Ano ginagawa niya Nel doon?
Ah,
Hindi ko na ano yun.
you just press a
yung sa Dawn
button
of
and like yeah, your
Attach.
captain attaches to like his tack squad.
Mm.
Ganon.
So, hindi siya aura. So, it's attached to
Yeah.
squad.
Ah,
So, yung sa apothecary, ganyan din. Or like, let's say, sa commissar. So, parang for me, sige, okay yung mga attach naman. I can play with that. Pero yun lang sana, yung sa limitations lang. Kasi, nawala yung yung flexibility sana. Na parang, kunwari, you can attach a apothecary with, sabihin natin na, chaplain ba or something like that. Kasi parang may certain limitations eh. Or like, for example, a character na name character, sana siya na lang ang pwede mag-attach sa kahit ano. Siya yung may flexibility talaga kasi he's a name character. Pero ang nangyari is actually, for example, sa Iron Hands, yung character namin na isa lang is naka-gravis siya. So technically, gravis lang talaga yung pwede niya ma-attach. Pero hindi siya pwede mag-attach sa mga blade guard or whatever na parang it gives you flexibility compared like let's say dun sa mga generic na characters lang. Yun sana if they did that. I mean, it would be nice. Tapos, yun lang, since we're just playing with one detachment pa lang, I don't know, baka paglabas ng codex natin or baka dyan na mag-open up yung mga, oh, you have flexibility if you can do this or do that. But right now, okay naman yung simplicity. Pero yun lang, na to the point na parang talagang nilimit yung ano yung pwede mong gawin lang for your army building lang. That's my take on it lang.
Yeah, good.
Pero
Actually, to add on
Yeah.
that, Ren, you mentioned like kung gravis ka, gravis lang i-attach mo.
Yeah.
Going back to sa Nephiston example, yeah, I understand why intercessors. Pero Blade Guard naka Mark 10 armor lang rin naman. So why can't you attach to that, no? Parang what's the reasoning there? If Terminators can attach to Terminators, then fine, make it uniform across the board, no? But when you say you can attach to this Terminator but not to that Terminator, what's the reasoning there, diba? Weird. It might be an oversight. I don't know.
Well, right now hindi na we can't say. Kasi
Yeah, we can't say.
we can say kasi the simple answer is gravis. Pero
Yeah.
pero ano?
Except
Except
for
realize na
yeah.
Mephiston hindi pala pwede mag-attach sa Blade Guard. Interesting.
He would be so good, honestly, if he could attach a Blade Guard. But wala.
Ano yun hindi ko napansin yung part na yun.
Yan,
So guys, go Noel. What's your ano ba?
Sorry. Exactly yung sinabi ni Luigi. Yung, for example, yung sa bagong Apothecary, yung biologist, naka-gravis siya. Hindi ko siya pwede makabet sa isang character unit na naka-gravis. I mean, yung character namin na si Iron Father Pharaohs, hindi siya pwede magsama dun sa Apothecary na biologist din. Parang yun din.
Mm.
Same scenario din.
Interesting. Okay. Mukhang madami akong babasahin about that. Hindi ko napansin yung mga parts na yun.
Yeah. It's very specific. Parang for me, it's a bit too specific.
Mm.
If you want to make it like this because of this, then, make it uniform.
Yes, actually. Ayan, okay. So guys, thank you. That was the last question ko sa 10th edition natin, first reactions. And that is a wrap. And thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please do like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, the YouTube, and we do have a Facebook also, so I will put that link in the description. Ryan, Noel, and do you have may mga plugins ba kayo na gustong if ever? Where will we find you? Or ikaw, Noel? Meron ka bang plugins dyan?
Uh,
Or shoutout man lang?
uh,
Shoutouts?
I guess siguro for today, Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Yeah.
Sa
Happy
lahat ng
Father's
Happy
Day,
Father's
Noel.
Day.
Happy Father's Day sa inyo.
Happy Father's Day, Noel.
Ryan, sorry.
Thank you.
Then Noel,
Okay.
yes. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Ayun lang naman. So, ikaw, Rai.
Wala. Secret ang mga ko social media ko.
Ah,
Bawal.
Yes.
Secret.
What about you, Luigi?
Wala naman. But if ever anyone listen wants to play a game, message na lang kayo sa Facebook if you're in the Glorieta group, no? Usually I'm
Yeah.
there every Saturday, every other Saturday. Actually, the Saturday I
Mhm.
plan to play my first game of 10th, no? So I'll see how it goes for myself.
Yes. Pwede nyo naman kaming i-invite. Yung mostly, lahat kami dito is players sa neutral ground sa Glorieta. Usually doon ang play area namin. You can just chat us up. Huwag kayong mahiya. Don't be shy to hit us up kasi we want more people to be uh, intrigued or be interested sa Warhammer 40,000 kasi ang magandang magandang 10th edition ngayon to be honest.
yeah.
Simplified, yes. I mean, medyo na flavor
Yeah.
na wala nga ng dati yung flavor.
Exciting siya though.
Very exciting
Well,
ang
I
10th
mean,
edition
true.
ngayon. Man.
all complaints aside, it's a very
Oo,
exciting time to
exciting
start.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys want to demo game ng Warhammer, just DM us. Or yun, kasi we would love for you to join and make the community much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yun lang guys. Thank you again. Ryan, thank you. Noel, Luigi, thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
And
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
sige guys, bye-bye na and
Right.